Order is Wendy, Svetlana, Wendy, Svetlana, Ramya, Brian, Miriam, and Julie. The way this competition will work, once again, ladies and gentlemen, is I will send all 6 contestants off into a breakout room with the Sergeant at Arms. We'll actually send speakers 2 to 6 off into the breakout room. Speaker 1, you can remain in the room. I will announce the topic to each speaker. I will announce their name, then the topic, and then their name, and they will then begin to speak for between 1 and 2 minutes. The timing will begin with the first obvious gesture or utterance from them. Each speaker is to be given 1 to 2 minutes with lights at 1, 1.5, and 2. If they speak less than 1 minute or more than 2.5 minutes, they will be disqualified and will not be notified of their disqualification. After each speaker, we will invite the next contestant in while the judges are judging their results for 1 minute. Are there any questions? Let me advise the speakers that they can either pin the timekeeper or they can shift the timekeeper to a position that makes it possible for them to see the timekeeper, because there will be no audible signals given. All the contestants are comfortable. Are there any questions from the contestants? Are there any questions from the audience? Madam Chief Judge, are we ready to proceed?
Yes, we are ready. And since I'm Zoom master, do you want me to send out the contestants already?
If you would send all of the contestants except
Sending.
our first contestant, that would be good.
Okay, ongoing. We have 2 contestants still in the room, or 1 contestant still in the room.
That would be Wendy.
Okay, they're all out.
They're all out. All right. So, Wendy, can you speak to make sure that you are correctly framed?
Yes, I can speak. Oh, I can also see the timer.
You can see the timer? In that case, let the contest begin. Contestant 1, Wendy. Your topic is the choice. The choice, Wendy.
Ladies and gentlemen, have you ever made a hard decision of whether to choose to join a contest or not? Well, for me, I just made a difficult choice of whether joining this Zoom competition, because there are so many restrictions. The stage size is so small and I can't perform well within such a small stage. And there is some background noise. Can you hear that? My mom is cooking out there. There is noise out there. My dad is working out there. And can you hear those piping sound? Well, all these are very distracting. And I feel so nervous in making such a choice of joining a contest that is in a virtual world. But then I told myself, well, if you don't do it now, what will come next? The COVID-19 is not going to leave us very soon. So still you have to make the choice and walk out of your comfort zone and try a virtual contest. You have enough practices for yourself at the Witty Storytelling Online Club, don't you? This kind of self-talk when I make choices is very helpful to me, ladies and gentlemen. Whenever we have a difficult choice to make, we can talk to ourselves. Think about the pros and the cons, the bad side and the good side, and try to put it on a balance and think about it, then your heart will tell you where you have to make the decision, and your heart will tell you what kind of choices you have to make, and your heart will show you the path to the destination according to the choice that you make. I hope this is helpful for you, so make your choice. Back to you, Contest Chair.
Thank you, Wendy. Thank you very much. All right, if we can have a minute for the judges to complete their timing. Thank you, Tama. Colleagues and confreres, contestant number 2, Svetlana Rakimova. The choice. The choice, Svetlana Rakimova.
And was that the question?
Your topic is the choice. The choice, Svetlana Rakimova.
Choice. We make choices every day. Every day we make decisions, small and big. Decisions that we will be grateful to ourselves for, or that we will resent. What does it take to make a right choice? We are told your choice should be value-based. Your choice should be very well thought of. You need to take a lot of circumstances, a lot of facts, and a lot of conditions into account. But for me, making a choice is something like standing up and delivering a table topics theme, a table topics speech. I say that it takes the whole life to prepare for a table topics question. You don't prepare for a table topics question in a matter of seconds. Some of the answers should be ready, and here is mine. Thank you.
Thank you, Svetlana. Again, a minute's silence, if we can, to allow the contestants, the judges to complete some deliberations.
Hello, I'm back.
Thank you, Mr. Timekeeper. Toastmasters and guests, speaker 3, Ramya Varivel. Ramya, your topic is the choice. The choice, Ramya Varivel.
Thank you, Table Topics Master. Choice. S. Everyone gets into multiple choices and decisions that we made to make in different phases of life. I was at a point, I was feeling so depressed when I came back home when during my college days, and then I realized I need to talk to my family about why I'm feeling so. And then because the reason was I was really down because I didn't do the exams well, and that is going to impact my career. My grandfather, he took me to the kitchen and he put the different vegetables into a boiling water. He took one pot with a potato in it, and another hot bath with a egg in it, and then another boiling water with coffee beans or tea powder in it. He boiled it, and I was asking him, "What are you doing?" He said, "Wait." And after 2 minutes, he said, "Can you look? Can you see what you can see now?" I said, "Potato is cooked, egg is cooked, and coffee beans has been mixed in the water." He said, "Can you realize now? The potato has become softer. The egg has become from a very brittle into a hard shell. And can you realize the coffee beans has turned the color of the water?" So it's a choice, and the difficult situation when you are in, it's a choice that you make that lead you to how you want to change the circumstances and lead a happy life. Back to you, Table Topics Master.
Thank you, Ramya. Thank you for your table topic. Again, if we can have a minute's silence to allow the judges to complete the deliberations. Thank you, Mr. Timekeeper. Brian, just confirming that you can see the timekeeper.
Yes, I can.
Good. Toastmasters and guests, contestant number 4, Brian Dodd. Your topic is the choice. The choice, Brian Dodd.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. The choice. It takes me back to when I was 17 years old. And I used to bicycle to school, as I bicycle now, to Starbucks, stores, wherever I want to go. And on the way there was a couple living in a small stone cottage. And my father had been to a Canadian Immigration Office. And he had not quite, but almost got said that, yes, you can come to Canada. He was in a neck brace from here down to his hips. So he had to have a medical examination before we could go. So we had a little bit of planning. I was in the next to last year of what's called grammar school over there. And I was expecting to go to Manchester University, where they invented the computer, or they were involved in the early space race. And this couple offered me, if I would have stayed there, I could have gone to university then, rather than come to Canada. However, my choice was to jump onto the boat with my siblings and mother and father, all 8 of us, and we sailed away on June the 6th, 1957 to Canada. That was my choice.
Thank you, Brian. Again, a minute silence, please. Thank you, Mr. Timekeeper. Miriam, just confirming that you can see the timer.
Yes, I can. Thank you.
Toastmasters and guests, contestant number 5, Miriam Strickland. Miriam, your topic is the choice. The choice, Miriam Strickland.
Life is all about choice. From as early as we become aware that we are an individual person, as distinct from being melded with our parents, we have choices. It appears to be clear from research that even very small children know how to lie. So even very small children understand that they have a choice. If they're asked, did you break that bowl? They have a choice to say, no, I know nothing about it. Or whether to say, yes, it was me. Let's move a little further through life. I'll give you an example from my own. I was given a choice whether to attend my secondary school, which had a co-educational method, boys and girls together, or whether to go to an all-girls school. In hindsight, my academic achievement may have been better at the all-girls school, but I chose the more socially relevant co-educational school. Nothing lost, but just an example of how a choice can be made that might affect future, it might not, but we always have choices. I choose most of the time to see the benefit in everything that happens, even if it appears unpleasant at the time. I recommend you do too. Over to you, contest.
Thank you, Miriam. Again, if we can have a minute's silence for the judges. Thank you, Mr. Timekeeper. Toastmasters and guests, contestant number 6, Julie Curtis. Julie, can you see the timekeeper before we begin? You can?
Yes.
Good. In that case, Julie Curtis, your topic is the choice. The choice, Julie Curtis.
Mr. Toastmaster, fellow members, and very welcome Toastmaster guest. We all have to make a choice, a lot of choices, in fact, in our life. Not only to be or not to be, like it was said from Shakespeare, but to do or not to do, to begin or not to begin. And the good choice is to begin as soon as we can. Begin to be a Toastmaster. Begin to be a mother if you can. I didn't begin early, but I was very happy when I did. Begin with doing, not only listening. Begin with participating and do it as much as possible. And be there even if the circumstances are tough, even if you have not everything you think you need, and begin with a child mind. Begin with a beginner's mind. Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you, Julie. Thank you. If we can have a minute for the judges to complete their deliberations, please.
Mr. Contest Chair, being the final contestant, after Julie, the judges will have unlimited time, but I
Yes.
am inviting them over to the breakout room so you guys can chat here. But please hold on. I will tell you when all the judges have moved.
Fabulous.
Okay. There should be a contest on how quickly somebody can go to the breakout. And these are very quick, folks. They are now all, just a second. We're just waiting for one judge. Please, one of you move over to the breakout room. Okay. Judge, please move over to the breakout room. I'll give this judge 7-second countdown. If the judge doesn't move, 7, 6, 5. There, he moved. Okay, so we are all gone, or they're
Fabulous.
gone.
Thank you, Madam Madam Chief Judge. We shall await your return with some results. In that case, everybody else, can you please turn your video back on? If you feel comfortable doing so. And can you please also turn on your audio and congratulate our 6 contestants today, who I believe have done a terrific job. Well done to all of the contestants today.
And Mr. Contest Chair, my.
Can I let you back? Yes.
Back.
Yeah. And Miriam's probably asking the same. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. It's one of those silly rules where everybody has to turn their camera off, and rather than me interrupting each speaker and saying, "Oh, Brian, can you turn your camera off?" I just turned you off, and then I forgot to turn you back on. But you're back now. So welcome back. Congratulations to all of our 6 contestants. Did they not do a fabulous job, everyone? Yes, they did. It wasn't an easy choice, the choice. Mind you, it could have been worse. I've actually been at one district conference where at district level, the topic was yes. The single word Yes, that was challenging. I want to bring each of the contestants to the front and just have a couple of words with them. So in reverse order, Julie, thank you for competing here today. You are a competition junkie. You enjoy competing, don't you?
No,
No?
not at all.
Well,
I
what,
enjoy trying to be better than myself. But
and yep. Well, every time we compete not against the others in the competition, but against the one person that we have not yet been able to beat, and that's us. So I commend you on doing so today. Thank you, Julie. Miriam, you said that you were not a great, you weren't entirely confident when you first joined Toastmasters. Certainly didn't appear that way today.
Well, thank you very much. That's very kind of you. In terms of public speaking, I used to have some experience. I've never been someone who was actually terrified of public speaking. It's more in group situations, for example, parties. I'd be happy at a party if the music was loud and everyone was dancing. That's fine. But if I was actually having to talk to people that I didn't know, that's where I would shrink backwards and try to disappear.
My wife comments on the fact that I used to go hide off in the library at parties, in the bookshelf, and I'd find a book and I'd sit there and read, because that was me.
Yeah.
Brian, what would your life have been like if you'd made a different choice? Any different choice?
Well, going back to the choice that I talked about, if I would have gone to Manchester University, there were two universities there. One where they invented the first commercial computer in the world, and the other one had the Jodrell banks associated with it. And if I had gone there, I would have wound up working for NASA, because I was smitten with space way back in 1950s. So
we could have had astronaut Brian Dodd, or at least astronomer Brian Dodd, perhaps. Maybe even JPL technician Brian Dodd. But I'm glad that we've got
JPL technician.
I'm glad that we have you as Toastmaster Brian Dodd, and I thank you. Ramya, during your presentation, you spoke about boiling potatoes, boiling eggs, and boiling coffee. You've got to choose one of those three. Which do you choose? Potatoes, eggs, or coffee?
I think I'll go for coffee, because I don't know if I happen to land that message. The thing is that if the boiling water is the toughest situation that we are going through, probably turning that to your advantage is always better, or at least changing the perspective of it.
Excellent. I have to say, I was going to say coffee. I mean, I love eggs and I love potatoes, but I need coffee. It is only 20 to 6 in the afternoon here, but I still need another coffee. Svetlana.
Yes.
You've been in both competitions today. Tell us about why you compete.
When I joined Toastmasters, I thought one thing I would never do is participate in contests, because I'm happy with, delivering speeches and helping with the club. Not until I became VPE and I had to organize a contest. I lined up a lot. I lined up judges from all top clubs of London, lined up counters and everybody else, but I didn't have any contestants. All of a sudden I realized it was 1 week to the contest and I didn't have any contestants. So I put myself first as a contestant, which made it easier for me to talk to other people and talk them into becoming contestants, and my fellow Toastmasters were very humorous about it. Some of them said, no way. And others said, are you blackmailing us and all that? but I managed to get a lot of contestants as well. And that was my first contest where I actually took a third prize. I didn't mean that at all. That came as a surprise to me. But if you, excuse me, if you let me tell a little story that came to my mind while I was waiting for your question. And I wanted to tell that story. You know, I grew up in a culture which has a lot of parties, a lot of wedding ceremonies, all kinds of birthday parties. And speaking in public is not a problem for me. And I had a cultural shock when my English husband and I were living in Tashkent, and we were invited to a wedding party. And of course, there I didn't count how many people there were, but there were at least 500 guests. And of course, we were asked to pronounce a toast. And I said, sure, no problem. And as I was eating, I told my husband that in a moment we will be speaking. And he said, what? He went, I can't even describe the color of his face. He nearly passed out. And he said, not in my worst of nightmares. I'm not going to speak. You must cancel that. I was shocked. It was my turn to be shocked. And I said, are you mad? Like, his question was, are you mad? And my question was, are you mad? You cannot cancel it. You know, it's what's so special about it? You know, everybody's drunk anyway. Everybody's busy with their talks. We just come up and we say a few words, you know, congratulations, we're so happy for you, have a lot of children and all that, you know, that kind of stuff. Anything that comes to your mind, nobody cares. And he was like, no. At last, I talked him into doing it. I said, I will be speaking, you will be standing next to me. And he was standing there trembling, you know, and we made it. But when I joined Toastmasters in London, only then I understood why my husband was so shocked, because a lot of people who were joining Toastmasters, they were saying that they were appointed best man and the wedding of their friends is in 6 months. So they joined Toastmasters in order to prepare themselves for that one toast.
Yeah, maybe we should have sent your husband along. Thank you, Svetlana, for that wonderful story.
Thank you.
Wendy, you said you made the choice to compete. How tough a decision was that for you? Really?
Of course, it's really a tough decision because I told you there is so many restrictions on an online context, and still I follow my heart. I do all the self-talk and I balance the pros and cons, and I decide to join, and I think I won't regret making this choice.
Well, we don't regret you making that decision because we all really enjoyed all of our contestants' speeches today in the table topics. I see the Chief Judge has returned, but I am just waiting to see if we have a result. In the meantime, I'm going to ask a couple of other people to give 60 seconds on their response to the same question, the choice. Karen, you thought you were just going to sit here and watch today, didn't you? In 60 seconds, Karen, the choice.
I think a choice for me was back when I was in about the 5th grade. I had done a drawing. It was made fun of. And from that point on, I decided I would never draw again. And I didn't unless I was forced to in a class. And I always wanted to paint animals. And finally, when I was 35 years old, so that was a lot of years, I decided to give it a try and found that I had an ability I didn't realize I had. And I think of how it would have been much different much better had I made that decision a long time ago, and how much further ahead I would have been with my art if I would have made that decision and not let these little snotty girls intimidate me back in the 5th grade. And it was a stifling fear. I wouldn't even draw on my own because I didn't want to see my own failure. So That's a choice that I made and remade it and wish that I'd made the second choice earlier on.
Well, at least you made the choice to explore your artistic ability, and well done on that. I still can't draw a straight line with a ruler. Cheryl, I'm going to ask you in 60 seconds, a choice you faced.
I don't know. I heard someone said not making a choice is also a choice. That stick to me really well. That in the many choices I have to make, I always end up with an answer to do it, or at least to begin. And it never failed me. I always end up being happy with the decision to actually do it. Being a mom, taking on a new job, taking on a new adventure like climbing a mountain, doing scuba diving, and many other stuff.
All great choices. I got to say, I can't be a mum. That's not a choice I'm ever going to have to make. But scuba diving, that's a choice I've tried. They actually wouldn't give me a scuba diving license thingo because they said, no, you'd have a heart attack. You need to lose weight. You need to, wouldn't let me do it. So I've done a couple of, what do they call those? Resort dives where you're only about, 5 meters underwater and you're right next to the boat. So you're not going to die. But I want to go scuba diving one day. So, Madam Chief Judge, are we right for the results now? You've sent them to me, yes? Yes. In that case, it is time for us to announce the results. Once again, there can be only one winner, but there can also be a runner-up and a second runner-up, and I'm going to announce those. But all 6 contestants today, tonight, this morning, this afternoon, whatever time it is, wherever you are, I think were worthy of applause. So once again, please give them a round of applause for stepping up and giving us such a great competition. All right. It is with great pleasure that I announce the 3rd place in the Witty Storytellers Online Table Topic Competition 2020. Please congratulate Julie Curtis. Well done, Julie. Our 2nd place contestant today, Miriam. Congratulations, Miriam. And the winner of the Witty Storytellers Online Toastmasters Club Table Topics Competition for 2020, Wendy Smiley. Well done, Wendy. Congratulations, as I say, to all of our contestants and particularly to our 3 winners. Congratulations to the Chief Judge and all of her people who assisted her. Thank you to the timekeeper, Dennis, who has done an amazing job here today. I thank you to everybody. And on that note, I will declare this competition concluded. Thank you, everyone, for your attendance.